Good morning. This is an update on how the garden's doing. So we have had so much rain lately. We just cannot get a break from all this rain. All this rain, along with the heat, has just wreaked havoc on my tomato plants. I have been battling what I believe is blight. You can see how some of these leaves are starting to turn yellow and spotty. And I have been battling the dreaded hornworm. So I thought I'd just tell you what I have been doing to try to save my tomato plants. Number one, what I've been doing to battle hornworms, I've been coming out at night with a black light, and a hornworm, I don't know if you've ever seen one, they're these big green caterpillar-like creatures that will eat your tomato plants up. But if you bring a black light outside at night and shine it on your tomato plants, they will glow and you can just pull them off. Now, I have never done that before this year, but I think we have pulled off about 12 hornworms off of these tomato plants. And as you can see, the blight is taking over these plants. I'm really worried that it's just going to kill the plant and I won't get any tomatoes. And the thing is we have so many tomatoes growing. I mean, they are producing quite well. But if the blight takes over this, the tomatoes will die. So I wasn't really satisfied with, the just picking the hornworms off the tomatoes, because I know how fast a hornworm can destroy a crop. So eventually I did use some chemical treatments to deal with the hornworm situation, which I used 7 Dust, and we've had so much rain, it's just of course washed off, and so far the plants are looking pretty good. But for the blight, which is this, I believe this is blight. I am not 100% sure, but I'm gonna say that that's what's going on here. But what I read and did my research on is that they recommend that you cut all these little limbs that have the blight on them off. Well, I'm afraid if I do that, I might not have plant left. So I have been trimming them, but I bought me some copper fungicide treatment to spray on the plants. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna trim these leaves back that have all these spots, and then I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna treat these plants. I have a sprayer with my mixture in it, and I'll spray all the plants here in a little bit. But also, my marigolds are really growing. I finally have a very pretty little zinnia starting to bloom out. And over here we have our sunflowers are not blooming yet, but they're really getting tall, and we've got a few little wild flowers in the bottom of the bed. So we'll come back here and take a look at these here in a little bit. But this is my acorn squash. It's getting a little woolly. I've got some beets planted in here. And then my cucumbers. I pulled a couple cucumbers off of here. Oh, I see a little cucumber on the other side. I planted pickling cucumbers this year. That one. Well, my plan is, I'm hoping, I've never canned pickles, and so I wanted to get enough cucumbers to can pickles this year. But look at how awful my pepper plants look. I think they also have blight. See how the leaves are turning all brown and spotty? Yeah, I've not ever had this happen to peppers. But I do have a little pepper on there. And I've got some onions that are getting pretty big. So anyway, I'm gonna work on this for a while and I'll bring you back in a little while. This is what I cut off my plant. Oh, it's so depressing. So what I'm spraying right now is a copper fungicide that is supposed to help treat blight and many other funguses, because that's what blight is. And so I'm going to go through here after I've pruned a lot of those yellowed branches off, and I'm going to treat all of my tomato plants with this copper fungicide and hope that I can save these tomato plants. Oh, I don't know, guys. It just makes me absolutely sick to think that I might lose all these tomatoes. I've done a little bit of research, and I don't know what's true because I have read different things. I've read that, you know, this fungus lives in the soil and that you should not plant your tomatoes in the same bed if you've had blight. I've read that you can trim off 90% of your leaves and your plant will still survive. I don't know if any of that's true. And I have also read that it actually doesn't matter if you plant them in the same soil the following season, that the fungus will not live in the soil that long. So I don't know what's true. I just know that I don't want this to happen again. And this has happened probably 3 seasons in a row. So next year I'm going to switch beds and just plant in a completely different bed. And I think that I will probably not plant as many tomatoes, space them out more, because I've also read that crowding contributes. So I think that I'll just plant less tomatoes next year and in a different bed and see how it turns out, if I get the same outcome. So we'll see. I'll bring you back sometime whenever I can actually start harvesting, if I can start harvesting any tomatoes. And if not, I'll bring you back with an update if I lost all my tomatoes. Look at this. got a nice zucchini that looks like it's ready to go ahead and get off the vine. And the beans have really filled out. We've got lots of blossoms on there. I think somewhere in here there's already some little beans growing. So we'll be able to pick some beans probably in a couple of weeks. Thanks for coming along on this episode of Life on Our Land. We'll see you next time with an update. Until then, happy gardening.